Andrew Hutchinson's article, Hackers Are Looking to Sell Private Facebook Information, Another Facebook Data Issue, talks about how there were over 81,000 accounts that were breached by hackers, and claims to have access to over 120 million accounts. Facebook believes the problem came from an external browser extension, but they believe their security measures have not been compromised from this attack. Facebook is targeted because they hold the most personal information on its users more than any other company combined. Facebook's statement is that they are not at fault for this data breach, but the effects will still hurt their reputation with their users. Hutchinson's article explained that there were over 81,000 accounts that were hacked with personal data being stolen. Hackers would use Facebook over any other social media platform because they have the most information on its users. The most important information that the hackers could obtain are the user's accounts, location, login information, and the user's own personal information. Facebook believes that this data breach is not their fault, but they could have taken action beforehand to stop possible threats like this to happen. In the past, Facebook has had many issues with data being hacked and stolen from its users. Though Facebook has done many things to stop future attacks, they have not been able to get around many different breaches. Over the past few years, Facebook has been hit with multiple attacks, allowing thousands of accounts to be compromised each time. With each attack, Facebook seems to have had more users' accounts being hacked, leaving private information on its users' accounts to be more vulnerable.
Facebook announced that it recently discovered a security breach affecting nearly 50 million user accounts. The company released a statement Friday noting that the breach, quote, exploited a vulnerability in Facebook's code that impacted View As. The View As feature allows people to see what their own profile looks like to someone else. Facebook says they discovered the security issue on Tuesday. The company reset the access tokens of the almost 50 million accounts that were affected to protect their security, according to the statement. According to CNBC, the View As feature is temporarily suspended, and the site is now requiring affected users to re-enter their password when they return to Facebook. The investigation is still in its early stages. News of this security breach comes as Facebook faces a federal investigation over its role in the Cambridge Analytica data breach scandal, which misused data of many Facebook users earlier this year.
Anthony Cuthbertson's article, Facebook Hack, People's Accounts Appear for Sale on the Dark Web, explains that in various major Facebook data breaches, many of its users' data is being sold on the dark web. Some accounts can be sold for as little as $3. With users' information being sold, the users themselves could be blackmailed or held for ransom for their information from the criminals with their accounts. Users' accounts can only be bought on the dark web using various forms of cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, for example. Facebook believes that this data breach could be caused from a flaw in Facebook's code. In Cuthbertson's article, he explained that Facebook has had its users' data breached multiple times before, but this time the hackers are selling the victims' data on the dark web for a price. As he said, Facebook's accounts are being sold from around $3 to $12 or to the highest bidder. Facebook said that they do not know who is to blame for this attack or if any accounts were actually breached at all. If Facebook does not secure their systems, many of its users will leave, going on to different social media platforms. Throughout the past few years, Facebook has seen many data breaches that resulted in their users' data being stolen. User accounts have precious information that criminals would want to buy or to either blackmail or hold users for ransom. Through the use of the internet, more and more people trust websites with their private information. With more people trusting their information to Facebook, the more hackers would want to break into their systems and sell such accounts. Facebook competes with other social media companies by modifying their platform to be current with the trends. This could allow for more data breaches to occur in their systems. In Cheong Nguyen's article, Was Your Facebook Account Hacked in the Latest Facebook Breach? Here's how to find out. He stated that in September 2018's Facebook data breach, hackers claimed that over 50 million accounts were hacked, but Facebook believes this number is closer to 30 million. Hackers are believed to have access to personal data such as the name, contact information, demographic details, hometown, birth date, and details of other friends found on a user's profile. The article goes on to tell the reader how you can check if you were a victim of the attack. Even though hackers have access to such information, they still do not, however, have access to users' payments or messenger information. With yet another attack on Facebook's systems, many of its users' personal data has been stolen to blackmail its users. In Yugen's article, he tells the reader how they could check to see if they're one of the millions whose data was breached by hackers. He describes in the settings of Facebook, there's an option that reads, "Is my Facebook account impacted by this security issue?" And if it was, Facebook will tell you what could have been stolen by hackers. Even though this does not solve Facebook's data issues, it will let the users know what they need to change or remove before hackers can get more sensitive data from them. After each passing attack, many of its users are beginning to get more frustrated with the flaws of Facebook's security systems. In the past year alone, after various data breaches, Facebook stock has been declining ever since the first attack. Facebook has spent a great deal of time and money trying to solve these major security issues. But since Facebook holds the most information on its users, this makes it a great target for hackers to breach. Journalists now have to warn users that their accounts can be hacked easily, resulting in articles being made to bring attention to how users are affected.
Some breaking news just these past few minutes. Facebook is reporting a security issue that's affected some 50 million accounts. They've said they've now reset the access tokens for those accounts, and they have also reported this security issue to law enforcement. Again, that's a security issue that's affecting some 50 million accounts. We're seeing a big reaction for Facebook stock, down some 2.7% at the moment. Facebook saying it's also temporarily turning off the View As feature on Facebook. Again, they're reporting a security issue that is affecting some 50 million accounts, David. The stock has fallen 2.7% on that news, and we'll keep monitoring it for you now.
In the Bloomberg News announcement, Facebook told the news that they had to reset the affected users' account tokens and turned off the View As feature temporarily. In the clip, Bloomberg showed that Facebook's stock fell 2.85% from the security breach. Just as it stated in Yugen's article, Facebook stocks plummeted after the breach of 50 million users occurred. His article connects to the Bloomberg News announcement because in the Bloomberg News, they showed how far stock prices fell from the same breach that Yugen was talking about in his article. Matthew Rosenberg's article, Delay, Deny, and Deflect, How Facebook's Leaders Fought Through Crisis, he explained that during the 2016 elections, Facebook employees found evidence that Russian hackers were probing Facebook accounts that could be tied to the Donald Trump presidency campaign. Emails were stolen from these accounts and sent to journalists with information about the campaign. Until January 2017, they realized that the original findings from 2016 did not even scratch the surface of what Russian hackers actually obtained. By that June, a New York Times reporter provided Facebook with a list of accounts with suspected tied to Russian hackers, providing journalists with these accounts' information. Rosenberg's article explained that Russians spent over $100,000 on approximately 3,000 ads to help elect Trump for the 2016 presidency. Facebook was concerned and hesitant with taking down the ads in fear of siding with the Democrats and not being neutral like they would have wanted. With the release of this information to the public, Facebook stock prices plummeted lower than they ever have before. He explained that the New York Times started an investigation on how Russian intelligence used fake accounts to promote emails stolen from the Democratic Party and prominent Washington figures to help elect Trump. Over the past few years, Facebook appears to have been able to be hacked much easier than before. Facebook's breaches are not only being used to hack users, but also to send users propaganda to favor certain electors. Russian hackers breached users' data and sent them ads about the campaign while also, in turn, stealing any information that the users could have had regarding the 2016 elections, by then sending their stolen emails about the campaign to reporters, in turn rigging the elections. This clip by TRT World described the same event as Roseberg's article, where the Russian hackers were taking users' data and selling them to journalists to influence the 2016 elections. Just like his article, Facebook knew about the security breach since 2016. In the clip, this event was constructed by the Cambridge Analytica, a company known for finding data to help politicians win elections by finding flaws with their opponents and selling that information to journalists to make the opposing politician look bad and lose support for the election.